Alright, deck tech for Mono Red, Obosh Prowess. Um, yeah, I think this will be the third league, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so we are actually sticking with our Castle Embereth. I've been getting a lot of feedback that this card has actually been insane for other players who have played this deck. And I did have positive experiences on a few occasions. And I'm going to stay the course. It only really screwed me over once so far. That game in one of the recorded leagues where it came into play tapped early on. Maybe it is telling though that even that game where it came into play tapped, I still won. It will only ever come into play tapped once because I only play one copy. So even at its absolute worst, it's never gonna screw me over that bad. But the point is, with only one, we usually won't see it until later in the game anyway. And if we do see it early, it's pretty unlikely to come into play tap, given that we have 15 mountains and only one copy of Castle Embereth. But it's just that as the game goes on, and as we're more likely to draw into it, it just opens up other lines of play is the main thing, just allowing us to make attacks we couldn't otherwise make. Making the season Pyromancer tokens into actual threats instead of just chump blockers or tools to turn on light up the stage. So it's just it's one of these cards that it probably was incorrect for me to doubt. It just offers a lot for very little. It asks for only one space in the deck. It doesn't even really impede you much at all. I mean, it almost never does. But it just offers so much in the games where it comes up. Um, so yeah, Castle Embereth is staying in. I don't know what much more to say about this deck though. It's just been very, very good. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to 5-0 as consistently as I was like. I tend to have been getting a lot of 4-1s lately, but I don't think that those 4-1s have anything to do with moving to the Flame Slash tech. I've always felt very close to getting these 5-0s. I have been getting consistent. I mean, if I'm consistently getting 4-1s and a 5-0 here and there, I mean, that. I don't think you can get much better than that. Like, if you actually average that out into like a tournament result, that means like I'm getting like on average 8-2s or 9-1s. I mean, that means like I'm kind of more or less making top 8. If you extrapolate this into tournaments, which of course is a little bit different because you're a little more likely to run into decks like Mono White Devotion, which I'm not actually slamming. I don't want people to think that I think that that's a bad deck. It's just that it may be another matchup that may line up well against us, but honestly, I'm not even sure about that. Um, so I mean, what am I trying to say exactly here? I guess it's just that it's a slightly different metagame is what I'm trying to say in these like modern challenges, which I have played a few. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to play them a lot. I've usually got a lot going on in the morning, particularly on Saturday morning. Sundays might actually be a little easier to make them, but a lot of times I've got other things I want to do on Sundays. I don't always I do end up sometimes playing leagues, you know, anyway. But mornings in particular, a lot of times I've got other things going on, and it's just really that it's kind of hard to tie myself up for such a long time in these challenges. But I might try to be more active in them. There's also a certain tension where if you're the trophy leader, you feel a certain tension in wanting to maintain that lead. So there's a certain EV in continuing to trophy hunt. Of course, if it doesn't shape up like I'm necessarily going to be the trophy leader next season, I might play in the challenges a bit more because it's going to weigh a little more towards maybe trying to get a lot of good results in those instead of like maintaining a trophy lead. So we'll see. Um, yeah, not sure what else to say. This is just this deck has been insane. It's felt like it's been able to deliver such consistent results. I'm very impressed. We'll see how this shapes up with the new meta. There is that interesting new Chandra card that I'm interested to test out. That, of course, would mean I have to go back to Jegantha instead of Obosh, but that might make it worth it. I mean, that card, I'll play Abbott again. I probably will replace Blister Coral Weird with Abbott when I test that out. And I will probably, I guess, replace Season Pyromancer. Oh, yeah, I can't play Giganta with Season Pyromancer anyway. So yeah, I'll probably replace Season Pyromancer with the new Chandra. 2-mana card. And I might actually play the rest of the deck. I think the reasoning behind the rest of these cards is pretty solid. So, well, one thing I might actually do in the Giganta version that I kind of thought about is I don't necessarily usually need the 4 damage from Flame Slash, so I might actually even play a Braid in the main. That's probably wrong, but the concept of having a main deck Answer to Chalice that also is another source of 3 damage, which I'm usually a little bit hurting for, that actually is kind of appealing. We'll see. Anyway, we'll see when it comes to it. I am interested to test out how that card works. I think that this version that doesn't play Bedlam Reveler and is mono red, I'm inclined to think that this version will probably abuse that Neutrandra the best. But I guess we'll have to see. Alrighty. But for now, let's yeah. Um, yeah, let's see.